Howdy folks, Shadowfax here. You're looking at the opening screen to Chaos the Battle of Wizards, an old Spectrum 1985 game by Julian Gollop. The reason I'm kind of revisiting this game is because they've just released a remake of it, Chaos Reborn. Came out through Kickstarter. I've bought into it via Steam, and I've been playing around with it. I want to show you a bit of it, but I just thought I'd go back and show you where it all came from. This is a Spectrum emulator web page, which works perfectly fine, to be honest with you. And it's just brought back such a lot of memories about Chaos, such a great old game. It was very, very simple, but it was just so much more than the sum of its parts. You could get up to 7 friends with yourself, up to 8 players, and just play it of an evening. There was no hidden movement required. 8 players could play on the Spectrum version. You didn't even have to turn your head away when people were making their moves because, as you can see, it's a clear arena, so there's no line of sight issues. I just had so much fun, and my friends did as well, playing this game. There was lots of interesting mechanics to it. For example, you can summon creatures to fight for you. Ooh, one of the wizards has died already. You can summon creatures to fight for you. Some of the more powerful creatures are very difficult to cast successfully. You'll only have like a 20% chance of casting them, but you can always choose to cast any creature as an illusion instead of as a real creature. It fights like a normal creature and it can kill people like a normal creature. But if any opponent wizard chooses to cast a disbelieve spell on it, if it is an illusion, then it will disappear just instantly. So a really sort of good bluffing mechanic was there as well. And just lots and lots of charm, and a great game. There was various other spells that you could cast in it as well. For example, you could cast a sword for your wizard, a shield, a bow, even a pair of wings. You can see there's a unicorn at the bottom left of the screen, wonderfully depicted, and you could cast unicorns and other mount creatures like unicorns and ride them with your wizard. Flying creatures can actually fly, I think in Chaos. There are loads of weird and wonderful spells like Magic Fire, which causes the fire to rage across the screen. Gooey Blob, which creates a kind of hideous slime-like thing that slowly spreads around the map. Shadow Wood, which is a series of trees that you cast which can attack people that stand next to them. Just so many great ideas in it. And really, really good fun. I recommend, if you've not played it before, I recommend just having a crack at it on one of the emulators. You can find it online simply enough, and I'll leave a link below. So anyway, this is where it all came from, folks. This is Chaos from 1985. And let's now take a look at the remake, Chaos Reborn. So, welcome to the remake. This is Chaos Reborn. As you can see, the graphics are a lot nicer. We've got a slightly more involved playing area, which is, yeah, it's got quite a few more sort of obstacles on it. It's not so much a sort of flat arena. 3 computer opponents against me. So here's my spell list at the bottom of various spells I can cast, ranging from Lore to Chaos, and let's get into it. So, to start off with, I'm going to cast something that's got quite a good chance of casting. So let's have a Rat Pack. One here, one here, one here. I'm going to choose to cast it as a real spell, even though it's only 90% chance of being successful. I think that's worth the risk. There we go. My wizard can now move. Every turn your wizard can cast once, move once, shoot once, do everything once basically, and the same with most creatures, apart from they can't cast spells. So I'm just going to move my wizard across here, and now it's flashing up end turn to tell me that I can end turn. Get a new spell every turn in the form of those cards. So Morrigan has tried to disbelieve my rats, but sorry Morrigan, I cast them real. So no luck for you. Okay, so let's start to move our creatures up here. Let's start to swarm towards Morrigan with some of these rats. It's a nice simple interface that they've chosen for this. It works quite well. Okay, so Let's try and cast a unicorn, 60% chance. And let's try to cast it as real. We don't have any mana to actually spend on increasing this 60% chance, because you can do that, but we're just going to give it a try anyway, so please work. Okay, we have one real unicorn. So now, because I've got a unicorn, I've still got movement left. I'm going to actually ride the unicorn. Boink, there we go, and now I can end my turn. Ah, and a dwarf has been given to me as my next spell. You do actually have to kind of hold and drag the screen, which is a little bit of a pain, to be honest. So what have we got here? A manticore, I believe. Yeah, it's a little bit of a pain. I would have preferred it if it was more of a scrolling interface, but I mean this works. You can use WASD to scroll around. You can also rotate them out. It works okay for now, and I should point out that this is an alpha at the moment. You know, it's in very early stages, and for an alpha, it's surprisingly polished, I have to say. Anyway, I think I'm just going to try and barricade this over here so that we have a little bit less hassle from Morrigan. So get the rats over there, and we've got a little bit more range on our wizard now because we've got a mount. So I think I'm going to cast a dwarf because there's a good percentage of chance. I should just explain, the spells are shown as blue, green or red depending on whether they're law, neutral or chaos aligned. If you cast law spells, the slider up here at the top will move towards law into the blue section. If you cast more chaos spells, the slider will move towards the red. And that sort of amalgamates all 4 wizards in this case. So if all the wizards cast law spells, it will start to go blue, etc. As it moves, see it's gone to 3% there, you might have noticed that the chance to cast my dwarf went from 90% to 93%. So it actually increases the percentage chance of casting spells that are aligned with that particular attribute. So I'm going to cast the dwarf now, or try and summon the dwarf. I'm going to cast it as real because it's 93% chance, and we should see the slider change from law plus 3% to law plus 6%, so as you can see that's how that mechanic works. So that's quite an interesting mechanic as well. So I've cast, I can move, and then I can end my turn. And we've been given an eagle, which is a neutral aligned spell. Mr. Dwarfy's killed one of my rats. Morrigan has failed to kill one of my rats. The combat system is very simple. You have an attack and a defense. Ouch, Morrigan is out of the game. So all of her creatures vanish to the Manticore. Yeah, the combat system is very simple. You have an attack or a defense, all units including your wizard. Attacks are either successful or unsuccessful. If they're successful, the target creature dies. If they're unsuccessful, the target creature lives and is unharmed. So it's very simple. But as I said before, it's more than the sum of its parts because it's really made in the sort of competitive multiplayer on this game. I can imagine AI fights in this being quite good fun, but they wouldn't probably keep you playing for that long, I wouldn't have thought, just because the mechanics of the game are so simple. Have it like a 3 or 4 player deathmatch though, yeah, I can see that having a lot of replayability. So I've successfully cast an elf. Next turn he'll be able to move and shoot. I'm going to move my wizard out of the way of this manticore if I can. And I'm going to try and pick up this mana sprite in the corner here, which will increase my mana bar on the right. So I don't believe I can... No, I can't cast this turn. However, I can move the dwarf, so let's move the dwarf up. And I can move the rats. 20% chance. Yeah, I think I'll be more defensive actually, and I think I will block this path so that he can only get around. And so we've been given a Shadow Wood, which is quite a nice spell actually. There's trouble going on over here. There's some eagles. An eagle's killing the rats. As expected, the Manticore deals with one of my rats easily. There's various sort of one-on-one attacks that the wizards can cast. Nicodemus here has just cast Magic Attack Vengeance. He succeeded in casting the spell, but the eagle successfully resisted it, because that spell would have killed the eagle. So anyway, let's try a ranged attack with the elf. Elves are pretty good with their bows, as you would imagine, which means that even quite a powerful creature like a manticore, you have quite a reasonable chance, 1 in 3 of actually getting a good hit. So let's see what we can do. Didn't succeed, unfortunately. Let's try with the rat, 1 in 5 chance. You can zoom in and out as well. Didn't succeed. I'm going to move my wizard up slightly, and then I'm going to cast Shadow Wood. 1. You can cast 5 different locations with Shadow Wood. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Oh, no, that was already there. I'm an idiot. 5. Is that going to stop us from getting down? It might do. So instead, let's put it here. Okay, let's cast it. 70% chance. It succeeded. Okay. So Shadowwood trees can't move. If I click on one, you can see it's got an attack of 3 and a defense of 6. So it can actually attack as a creature. If there's somebody adjacent to it, an enemy, it can attack as a creature with an attack of 3. It can be attacked and it's got a defense of 6. So it's not bad, it's 6 creatures which are quite good to form a barricade. Sorry, 5 creatures for the cost of 1. So let's move the dwarf up. We've shot with the elf, but we can still move, so let's move over this way. And let's move the rat back. Oh, the rat's already moved, sorry. Let's end our turn. So Nicodemus is being attacked with an eagle, not working very well. And he's retaliating with a manticore and 2 of his rats. And a subversion. Ah, okay, so Nicodemus has actually converted this eagle to his will with the subversion spell, which is quite neat. So let's move our wizard back here, still reasonably safe. And let's... Don't actually have any mana at the moment. You can use mana to actually increase the chances on these spells being cast. But for now, let's cast an eagle. We've already moved. Let's get the dwarf to move up, the elf to move up, and the rat to move up. And then end turn. Another manticore. Wow, 3 manticores. Okay, so my eagle's been killed. My rat's been killed. One of the rats is trying to attack my shadow tree. 2 of them are trying to attack the shadow tree. And an eagle. Blimey. They don't like this tree. So now immediately I'll select the tree and I'm going to attack back one of the rats here. Bash! They're great shadow trees. We also have the dwarf who can move up and the elf which can actually attack the manticore 1 in 5, so I'm going to do that. Failed. And continue moving up. My wizard can move. 33% chance on this elephant, and I think I might actually take that. No luck on this occasion. I can still cast a spell. I might try and subvert the elephant, actually. 67% chance, worth a try. So I can increase this 75 by dragging this up, and as you can see my mana meter goes on the right hand side goes from 3 down to 1, and it goes up to 78, so let's do that. Are we going to get an elephant? Yes, we do. Thank you very much. So that elephant is now ours to command. Doesn't wear off either. That is now our creature. Can end the turn. A sapphire dragon. That's impressive. Okay, so Yaztromo has magic attacked my elephant and killed it. He's still not able to deal with my shadow tree over here. Excuse me. And as you can see, it's important that he actually deals with it, because the tree is covering... These two trees are covering a passageway through here, so he can't go through this passageway without being attacked twice. So let's try and take out the other rat with this tree. Didn't manage on this occasion, that's unfortunate. Now, the elf is engaged to enemy. If you move next to an enemy, it can engage you so that you can only attack. You can't retreat. So that's what we're going to do. 20% chance. No luck. Let's move our dwarf up. And we've got a 50% chance of attacking with the unicorn for the kill. So I think I'm going to do that, actually. And successfully, okay, so that's 1 out of 3 enemies gone. I've moved an attack, but I can still cast. And killing creatures in general gives you mana, but killing an opponent wizard gives you quite a bit of mana. So I do actually have quite a bit of mana now. So, and this diamond at the top tells me how many mana points I can use to increase the percentage. So, if I try and cast this sapphire dragon here, for example, I should be able to increase this by 12%. There we go. So I'm not going to bother with that one right now. I'm going to right click, get that back. However, I can increase the Manticore's casting chance by 24%, which isn't bad. So I'm going to try and get a real Manticore. Spend quite a bit of mana on it. And it failed. Okay, that's unfortunate. Never mind. My elf has been taken out, unfortunately, again. They're still attacking my tree. Shadow tree. One thing I will say about this, I know it's early access, this game. In most games like this that I'm used to, when it moves to an opponent's turn, the camera moves and focuses on it and lets you see what they're doing. Whereas with this, you've kind of got to click on them or drag the screen, which is a bit unwieldy, and I think they should do something that means that when it's somebody else's turn, the focus of the game moves to them, because it keeps people just more involved with the game. So let's take out another one of these rats with the tree. Okay, and let's... I think I'm going to try and cast an illusion, actually. So I'm going to cast this Sapphire Dragon, but I'm going to cast it as an illusion. So it will work, definitely. We just need to hope that nobody disbelieves it. Just going to move the unicorn up here. And then I'm going to attack the Manticore with Mr. Dwarf. No luck on this occasion, so let's move up a little bit. Skeleton is our next card. And the dwarf is under fire and has unfortunately died. We still do have these shadow trees here though, and that's quite a good barrier for now. So let's take out another one of these rats. This tree is doing a fine job over here. And then let's move the dragon up we can actually attack this eagle. I like the control system in this. It's very, very simple. If I select the dragon, it shows me in green the places I can move to, and in red the places I can attack. So I can attack both the rat and the eagle this turn with my dragon, and it gives the percentage chance. I think the 80 and the 86 there are ranged and melee, so possibly I can melee the rat as well. But I'm actually going to kill the eagle, or try and kill the eagle. So you can see he flies over and then ranged weapon and kills the eagle. And can we kill? We've already moved the tree this turn, so we can't do that this turn. We can move the wizard. And I am going to try and cast a giant that's real. So I'm going to put 12 mana points into that, so it's 50-50. And fingers crossed. Failed. Okay. Not good. Magic Sword is a good spell. Quite pleased to get that. So the rat is attacking my dragon. Okay. My Sapphire Dragon's been taken out by the skeleton. And the Shadow Tree has survived an attack by a unicorn. So this, just to take a quick look, this Shadow Tree has got a defense of 6. The unicorn's got... the unicorn's dead. I didn't realise, I was trying to get information on the unicorn there and accidentally killed it with the tree. So, there you go. I will check next time I get a unicorn. But you can see the Shadow Tree's got a defense of 6. The skeleton here has got an attack of 3. So they're pretty sturdy. You know, they can take a bit of punishment. Anyway, let's start to move the wizard to a slightly higher position again. And let's try and cast a magic sword on our wizard. So cast at 86%. Now if it's successful, yeah, you see the sword that's just appeared in his hand there? And it does the same with magic shield and magic bow. It actually gives them those weapons. And because they're magical, they will harm undead, which is very nice. One of my trees has gone. And this dragon over here, I'm not very happy about this dragon over here. I am actually going to cast a disbelieve spell. I'm going to choose to cast a disbelieve spell on it. Yeah, see, if it's successful, then you can cast again. And it doesn't get used up when you cast it. So you can always cast a disbelieve spell. And it will always work, as in the spell casting itself won't fail. It will always check to see if that unit is an illusion successfully. If that makes sense. So I don't think this Sapphire Dragon is real. So I'm going to put a disbelieve on it and see what happens. The Sapphire Dragon is real. That's problematic. And it means I don't get another spell this turn. Because, remember, you get... The disbelieve spell doesn't count if it works. As in, it doesn't use up your spell allowance for that turn. This didn't... I didn't disbelieve this creature. So that's my spell casting for this turn. So let's see if these Shadow Trees can take out the Manticore. They can. Excellent. And let's see if we can't get rid of this. Oh, there's 2 rats here. So let's get rid of one of these. And then move back again. So I'm not terribly happy about this skeleton moving up. Lots of attacks on my tree. Okay, my mount has been killed, which is unfortunate. Do need to do something about that dragon. Let's start off with what we can do something about. So let's get rid of this rat. Or not. We have the wizard. Now, because I have a magic sword, I can actually choose to attack that skeleton. I've got a 90% chance of killing it. But I'm not happy. I have a pretty small defense with the wizard. Less than one of those trees. I've got a defense of 4. The trees have got 6. I think this Sapphire Dragon is going to flame attack me next turn, so I'm going to move back, hopefully out of range. And I'm going to cast a skeleton, which the Sapphire Dragon shouldn't be able to hurt, because it's undead. I'd like it to be real, so I'm going to spend a bit of mana to get up to 94% chance. And please don't fail. Okay, we've got a skeleton. And let's see if that's enough. This could be my last turn, because the Sapphire Dragon could well kill me, I think. There we go. That's unfortunate. When a wizard dies, all of their creations die. And that's it for me. I'm defeated by one of my opponents. But yeah, overall, just to sum up, it's early access. Not all the spells are included. Not all the functionality is included. There's things that need to be tweaked. However, it's very polished. It's not crashing. The interface is well designed. It looks smooth. It doesn't look scrappy. It doesn't look like they've wasted, not put the effort in. I think they've stuck to the spirit of the original very well. There's so much there that is just directly taken from the original game, from lore, chaos, from disbelieving spells, the gooey blob, the shadow wood, the alignment of the universe kind of thing. All that's taken from the original Chaos, a 1985 game. And I think that multiplayer, this could be something really special once they actually pad it out. Single player, it's not too compelling at the moment because the AI is not 100%. It's pretty competent, but occasionally it'll do simple stuff that leaves you scratching your head. So maybe if you're interested in it, think about perhaps picking it up. I think it's about £15 on Steam. If you think that you might be interested in the future, maybe wait until the AI's been increased a bit, or wait and see what the multiplayer scene's like. For me, I'm really glad that I spent the money on this. I think they've done a really good job, and like I say, it's just great to see a revival of such a game that brought me so much sort of entertainment when I was a kid. It's good to see it come back. Anyway, guys, that's it for now. Thanks for listening. I'll catch you all later.